Now, the purpose of this video is to talk about my strategy for American Express credit cards from now on. But before we get there, I think it's important to see what happened with the cancellation first.
Hi guys and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel, we're talking about points, credit, bonuses, and travel. Why do I need to say that? I would like to say something smarter. Like what's smart about credit cards?
No.
We're talking about points, credit cards, bonuses, and travel. If this is something that interests you, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Bravo. So I think it's important to talk about a few different points that I learned with the cancellation, some things that you brought up with your comments, and thank you for that. As you know, my cancellation was due to my authorized users, and the one thing I learned was that, and I didn't know at the time, that I needed to provide social security number for these authorized users. Nobody ever told me that. Yes, it's written on American Express website, but at the same time, I didn't check. I did all that through the phone. So nobody told me that I need the social security numbers. I wasn't able to provide them at that point. They didn't say anything. I totally forgot about it. We kept using those credit cards for over a year. Make sure you have the authorized users provide their social security numbers. Then the other point that was brought up was that they were doing their spending internationally all the time. Now, it was all hotels and restaurants, and maybe that was not good business for American Express. I would like to think that that's not what happened, because that would be really bad play by American Express. But most likely what happened, as the letter said that they sent to explain, was that a few payments bounced, and they bounced only because they were made by one of those online banks. That's the only thing I can think, because I know that the authorized users did have the cash in the bank. So, and they were able to pay like 2 minutes later after the first bounce, pay immediately. So it wasn't about having the cash in the bank. I don't know what's going on with the banking systems, but yeah, the payments were bouncing. It happened a few times, even though American Express states that it was one time, but that's it. So there's that. The other thing I learned is that you don't need to have emotions about this. You don't need to be emotionally invested with American Express, but not completely delete them from your mind if you happen to be canceled at some point. Many of you told me that you got canceled in the past, but you were able to get American Express credit cards with a sign-up bonus and everything later, a year or two later. So that's amazing. In my case, I applied only a month and a half later, and I was able to get one of the cards I had that they canceled, the Business Plus. It doesn't have sign-up bonus anyway, but even if it did, I wouldn't be able to get it because I already had it. I did try to get the Hilton Aspire, but it wouldn't allow me to get the sign-up bonus. So for that reason, I passed. But the fact alone that I went back to American Express should tell you that I see value there, and I don't let emotions get in the way of math and common sense. Last but not least, you need diversity, and you need diversity not only because American Express is not accepted everywhere internationally, but in case of a cancellation, somebody steals your credit cards, who knows what, you need to have a diversity. You need to have different credit cards because you never know what's going to happen. And in my case, thank God I had a wealth of a whole collection of other credit cards. My credit score dropped about 30 points, and then it went back up next month another 35. I am where I was, and maybe a little more, since I have zero balances in all my accounts. But what's the strategy from now on? As I mentioned, the Business Plus is already in the collection, is back. It's a zero annual fee credit card, 2x on everything. It's MR points, not cash back, so I get those sweet MR points. I get my feedback again to getting MR points. But as we know, to get the maximum value, we need the trifecta. And for that, I don't think I'm gonna go back to the vanilla version. The long-term goal was to get the Schwab version anyway, and I think that's where I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna get the Schwab version. As long as I can get the sign-up bonus, that's when it's gonna be when I apply. I don't want to get another credit card without getting a sign-up bonus, especially if I'm eligible because I didn't get it in the past. So if I was getting the vanilla version, I wouldn't get it anyway since it's a once in a lifetime situation. But with the Schwab, I should be able to get it. If I can't do it now, I might do it in 6 months, in 1 year, whenever that time comes. You get exactly what the vanilla version has, plus 1.1 cents per point as cashback to invest to your Schwab account. I find that incredible. Now, the last leg of the trifecta is a gold. I don't want to get the personal gold, at least not at first. And that's because I need a sign-up bonus. I'm not eligible to get another gold sign-up bonus, so for that I would get the business version. Now the spending requirement is a little high, $10,000 in 3 months to get 70,000 MR points. That's high, but at the same time, I can get there 3/4 just by paying my rent. So I could pay the rent for 3 months and then 2,500 I easily spend between groceries and everything else. And the one thing I love about this credit card is that yes, it doesn't have the credits. It doesn't have the Uber credit. It doesn't have the restaurant credit, but it has 4x on the two categories that you spend the most. So it's like a custom cash, city custom cash version. And that includes gas. So between gas and groceries, I know I can get great value from this credit card, at least initially, at least for the first year. After that, once I have the sign-up bonus, I can consider going back to a personal credit card, depending on how the numbers look. You know, I will do the numbers when the time comes. Now, when it comes to Hilton Aspire that I tried to get before, as I mentioned, yes, I know it's a no-brainer credit card. Yes, I know it makes sense with sign-up bonus or not. But that's if you already had it in the past, you got the sign-up bonus, and you want to go back to it. I could see that happening. But for me, that I will typically be eligible for 150,000 points, Hilton points, why waive that and leave all that money on the table? We're talking about $750 that I'm not going to be able to get ever again just because I got the Aspire. I accepted to get the Aspire without the sign-up bonus. So therefore, I will pass. I could easily ask my wife to get it for me, but at the same time, we're working still on the Chase trifecta. She has already the Chase Sapphire Preferred. We just got the Freedom Flex. Next will be Unlimited. Then we're going to go to a hotel credit card and then an airline credit card. Once we hit that 524 with Chase, then if I still cannot make it and get an Aspire, I will ask her to get one so we have it in the family. But that's all for today, guys. Let me know what you think about the cancellations, about the strategy. Which of these credit cards do you think work the best? Which ones do you have? Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one. Ciao.